Review for Probability Quiz Part 2. An organization will give a prize to a local artist. The artist will randomly be chosen among 10 painters, 3 sculptors, and 5 photographers. What is the probability that the artist will be chosen will be a sculptor or photographer? Well, first we need to add together the total number of people. So we've got 10, 3, and 5. I guess I don't really need a calculator for that. That's 18. And so the total is 18. What is the probability that it'll be a sculptor or a photographer? So that's 3 plus 5, or 8. And 8 divided by 18, I can reduce that by dividing them both by 2, which would be 4 out of 9. In your calculators, if you're ever stuck with a fraction you're not quite sure how to reduce, we can go 8 divided by 18, math, frac, to get to 4/9 as well. So let's put in 4/9. Oh, got a fraction and a fraction here. Question 12, there's a table showing all 52 cards. What's the probability of drawing an ace? Well, there are 4 aces out of 52. So 4 divided by 52, they want a fraction. Let's reduce. And so that's 1 in 13. What's the probability that it is a heart? Well, there are 13 hearts out of 52 total. So that would be 1 in 4. Or you could just see that they're equally spaced. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 out of 4 are hearts. What is the probability that it's an ace or a heart? So all of the hearts, that's 13, plus 3 more aces gives us 16. So 16 divided by 52 is 4 out of 13. A dartboard has 10 equally sliced 1 through 10, and it looks like X is a gray slice. So these 3 are gray out of a total 10. So 3 out of 10 are gray. So the ones that are not gray are the 7 white ones. So the probability of not gray would be 7 out of 10. Subtract them. So 1 minus p of x, 1 minus 3/10 is 7/10. And we notice that that's the same as probability of not x. Diane spins a spinner 25 times and got these results. Assuming that it's fair, what's the theoretical probability of landing on gray? Well, there are 5 equally sliced, 5 equal slices, and 2 of them are gray. So theoretically, it should be 2 divided by 5, and we're going to want that as a decimal, which is 0.4. So 0.4. From Diane's results, calculate the experimental probability of landing on gray. So gray was 9 out of 25, right? She spins 25 times, and 9 of them. So let's calculate 9 divided by 25. This is the experimental probability, 0.36. So 0.36. Assuming that the spinner is fair, as the number of spins increases, they would become closer. I would agree with that. So if we did this like 100 times or 1,000 times, this should theoretically be even closer to each other to 0.4. Question 15, a dart hits the square dartboard shown at a random point. So what this is an area problem. We need to find the area of the circle and divide it by the area of the square. For the circle, it's pi r squared, and for the square, it's just the side squared. The radius of the circle is 3, and they said to use 3.14. So 3.14 times 3 squared. And then in the bottom, 7 squared is 49. So we just need to calculate 3.14 times 3 squared and divide that by 49. To the nearest hundredth would be 0.58. So more than 50%, which makes sense because it looks like it covers more than half of the area. It'd be 58%. Question 16. A box has 3 cards, 1, 2, 3. A bag has 3 balls, A, B, C. So the sample space would be 1A, 1B, 1C, 2A, 2B, 2C, 3A, 3B, 3C. And the ways that the number chosen could be 3 would be 3ABC. So we list them all. This is a compound event because there's 2 things happening. Number 17, a number cube is rolled 3 times. String OEE means odd, then even, then even. And so as we look at this, we're going to select for event A an odd number on each of the last 2 rolls. So this one has odd, odd. This one has odd, odd. But these ones do not. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 out of 8. It doesn't say that it has to be simplified, so I'm going to see if 2 out of 8 works. Otherwise, we'll put 1 out of 4. An even number on the first roll or third roll or both. So even on the first roll, even on both, even on both, even on the third roll, even on the first one, even on the last one. So that's 6 out of 8. An even number on both first and the last rolls. So that narrows it down. Even first and last, even first and last. So 2 out of 8. So they did not have to be simplified, but you could simplify them to 1/4, 3/4, 1/4 if you wanted to. Question 18. We're rolling 2 dice in this problem, and we want to know the probability that the sum is greater than 7. So a picture will be helpful for this. Greater than a 7 would be an 8, 9, 10, 11, or 12. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 out of the total 36. 15 out of 36, it said write an exact fraction. It doesn't say we have to reduce it, so I'm just going to leave it. The probability that it's an even number is half. Half of them are even, half of them are odd. So they said you could simplify the first fraction, but they didn't tell me I had to, so they said it's correct. So you could say it's 5/12. A math class has 4 girls, 4 boys in the 7th grade, 5 girls, 3 boys in the 8th grade. Our teacher randomly selects a 7th grader and an 8th grader for a class competition. What is the probability that she selects both are both boys. These are independent events because they're in completely different classes. So the probability that the first one is a boy would be 4 out of 8. And the probability that the second one was a boy would be 3 out of 8. So we're going to do 4 out of 8 times 3 out of 8. So 4 divided by 8 in parentheses times 3 divided by 8, and let's keep it a fraction, would be 3 out of 16. They do say simplest form here, so 3 divided by 16. And this last one, a radio disc jockey has 8 songs on a playlist. 2 are rock, 3 are reggae, 3 are country, and randomly chooses the first song to play, then randomly selects the second song from the remaining ones. What is the probability that they're both country songs? So these are dependent events because when they play the first one, that one is out of the running. So if we do 2 plus 3 plus 3, we see that there's 8 songs. Originally, the probability of country would be 3 out of 8 because there's 3 country songs out of 8 songs total. But now that one's been played, there's only 2 country songs left and 7 total songs left. So it's going to be 3/8 times 2/7. So parentheses 3/8 times parentheses 2/7, which is 3 out of 28. And that is a review for our quiz.